Yes, we are live, bro. You can start your session.
Okay. Hello, guys. Good evening. So today we are going to learn about document understanding. So on this, what I'm going to do is I'll just take a sample PDF and I'll just try to extract few details from it using document understanding. Okay. So this is my sample PDF. So from this, we are going to extract the address. You can find this PDF in Google, and date, invoice number, and the tax ID, and the total amount. Okay. So I'll close this. Just gonna copy this part. Now I'm just going to create a simple workflow document. Just okay, good. So if you have any doubts, any queries regarding this session or previous sessions, please do drop your comments in the comment section. So we will pick it up. Okay, like not about the sessions which we had. So if you have any queries apart from this, please drop it down. So I hope you guys can hear me. Now, Radhi, can you make sure I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you, Divya. Yeah, so we have my workflow, so we can open my workflow here. So what I do, I just first thing we need to do install. Oh shit. Okay. So I think we got an error. So robot is not connected. Let me do that first. Sorry for that. Just gonna sign out. Guys, I have to stop sharing my screen. I'll just connect it and to add my credentials. Sorry for that. Sorry guys. So I'm not using my orchestrator now, so I'll be just showing my workflow. I don't know, maybe some issues in my assistant. I'm trying to sign in, it's not popping up any window. Let's see if I can do that later. I'll do. So first thing we need to do is we need to install a few package. nothing but intelligent OCR package. You can find it in official tab. Just install it as like a highest package, highest version. Okay. So as you can see, once you updated, downloaded intelligent OCR packages, you can see if you change in this tab. So this is the first thing we need to do. Taxonomy. You need to create a taxonomy. So taxonomy is nothing but like we are declaring a variable. For example, if in this studio, this workflow, if you are using a variable, so you will declare it here somewhere variable on parallel augment panels, right? So in this case, we are declaring in taxonomy. So later we can use it in populating in data table. So let's do that. So once you click on that, we will get a pop-up. Tab. A new window. So you can create a group and category as it is required. So I'm just going to create a simple one saying finance and click OK. And the category will be my invoices. Then once you created the category and the type of document, so you can directly create a new document here. So I'm just going to give a name as sample invoice. You can give it whatever you want. So sample underscore invoice. Okay. So once you declare sample invoice name and the group category, you can see you need to add the fields. So nothing but declaring your variables. Okay. So I'm just going to create as I said earlier. So I'm just going to extract few values. So I'm just going to declare that. So I'm going to extract invoice date. Let's see that invoice date. So if you can see the multi-value, if you choose this, you can add multiple values invoice date. We can see this in a form extractor. So I'll show you that later. So once you click on once you created a variable called invoice date, you can say you can change the types here. You can choose date, and you can define the format. So as you can see in this we can see M and D and Y. You can define it's an optional. You can define or not. So I'm just going to save this. So I'm just creating another variable for invoice number. So my invoice number, and I think this will be my text. Yeah, it will be my number. You can choose. So there are many types here: text, number, date, name, others, keyword, set, boolean, table. So I'm going to create another variable for address. New field address. If you choose address here, it will basically give you as it will detect automatically with, for example, if you can see the USA and the pin code and all, it will directly detect pin code is equal to blah blah, country is equal to USA. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to extract full address as a text format. Address, save, and what else? Tax ID. So I'm just going to create another variable saying tax ID. Tax ID. I'm just going to give it as number. Save. The last one is total amount. Yeah. Yeah. total amount. I'm just going to text. We can choose anything. Then I'm going to save this. As you can see here in this part, I'm creating a finance and a group invoices and the sample invoice. You can add any other document type, like let's say you have Aadhaar card, resumes. You can just directly declare it here. So once you are done with this, you just close this, scroll down and close this. That's it. So once the taxonomy is completed, the first thing you need to do is declare, add a taxonomy, load taxonomy. You have a activity called load taxonomy. It will auto detect or auto add the existing taxonomy here. So you just have to call the output. I'm just going to call as taxonomy as it is, control K, taxonomy. Sorry, rename this document. So once this is done, we need to digitize the document. The second step is digitizing the document. So digitizing is nothing but we are looking at it is a digital or scanned PDFs. So the activity which we need to do is digitizing the documents. Digitize, got that, digitize document here. Before that, what I'm going to do is I'll just assign my PDF path, sample invoice path, assign activity. Copy as path. Control key, file path. So I'm just going to use this file path. If you are using multiple invoices, you can just loop it or put it in a folder and loop it using directory .get files method. So I'm just going to copy this from file path, and I'm going. As you can see, it's in digitize document activity. It's asking for document path, so I'm just going to pass that file path. And you're getting, once you pass this, the next thing you need to do is document text, create a document text output and document object model. So document text is nothing but what to say, the entire text, whatever the PDF, it will convert into string. It's nothing but when you're reading a PDF, you will read it as a string, right? Same as it is. So I'm just going to name it as document text only for easy purpose. Document text and document model. Control key. Model. In this case, the document model holds all the character length and details of the particular page of PDF. So we need, then I'm going to use the OCR engine. As you can see, we need to drop an OCR engine here. So I'm going to use Microsoft OCR. You can use anything, anyone, any OCR, which is preferable for you. So just drop it here. So we have completed loading the taxonomy, and the digitizing the document is completed. So I'll minimize that. So next thing is we need to classify the documents. So for example, we have so as of now I'm using invoices PDF, right? So if you are using like resumes or like any extraction of sample government PDFs, anything. So we can use classify documents to classify based on that. So I'm going to use classifier document copy. So as you can see, we need to have a document path, file path, taxonomy. So these are all just created variables here, taxonomy, the path. document text, document model. Now once we are done with our passing the input variables, I'm going to create a classification results. Control key, classification. Array of classification results, because we will get a list of like different types of collections, right? Classification. So sorry, keyword classifier, the keyword pad. We have intelligent keyword classifier, intelligent keyword classifier trainer. I'm going to use keyword based classifier. So in this, you need to create a classifier JSON file. So what you do is you'll go to your project. So when you create a taxonomy manager, it will directly create a taxonomy field here. So what I'll do is I'll just create a taxonomy and classifier JSON file here. I'm creating a simple notepad. So yes, documents, UiPath, document understanding, document processing. Here I'm going to create classifier dot JSON. So as you can see, we have a JSON file as a classifier. So I'm just going to copy this, copy as path. I'll close this. So once you added keyboard classifier activity, you just have to pass the path here. Then you can click manage learning. So you need to pass a few keywords based on the from PDF in order to classify it. So for example, if this is an invoice PDF, I am going to pass. I can copy this. Yeah, I can copy. I'm copying this invoice. Control C. Double quotes. Invoice, comma. So this classifier looks for the keywords in this document. If all the defined keywords are present in this document, which will classify as the defined name. So I'm going to take another one saying laundry services. Control C. Control V. And the other one, vendor name, I can take vendor, right? Just vendor. And what else we can take? I'll take tax ID. Okay, so these are a set of keywords which I'm looking for in this particular document. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to configure. As you can see, if you are so I'm using keyword basic classifier. So if you are using any other classifier within this, like for example, let's see what. So let's say we are using a intelligent keyword classifier. I'm not going to do anything. We should pass learning file path. You can see we got another set of activity. This one here. You can choose based on the confidence level define. I'm going to remove that. So you can choose, I'm going to choose to classify the sample invoice. I'm using keyword classifier, so I'm going to choose it. So I'm not writing any confidence level here. So this is done. So classifying the document is done. Now let's check if my orchestrator is connecting. Okay. So once this is done, so what we have to do is we need to use the data extraction scope. So once we digitize and once we classify the documents, the next thing we need to do extract the details, right? So I'm just going to use data extraction scope. Same thing. I'm going to pass document path, file path, taxonomy output, document text, document model, and the classification result. Okay, this is because of array. Yeah, so I'm just going to use 0. Because as I told you earlier, so classification result is a type of array of classification results. So I'm just going to use this as op of first index. Okay, we don't want document type ID. So I'm going to store extracted result in extracted result variable. So now I'm going to use a different type of I'm going to use two different type of extractors, which are form extractor, form, this one. So for this we already have an endpoint. You don't need to worry about that. So we need API key. You will get API key in your what do you say, orchestrator. I've already copied that. I'm going to use this. So once we added the API key, we need to define templates. Once I click on create template, you can see we need to select the document type here. So which we defined defined in taxonomy manager. So template name, give whatever you want. I'm going to add sample underscore invoice. So we need to pass the path here. So I'm just going to select the document which I'm testing. So which is this. So try to use the same OCR whatever you are using in digitizing the document. So I've used Microsoft OCR. You can use Microsoft OCR here. You can define the languages scan and scan level. When I hit configure, we will get a pop-up of a new tab or a window, you can say. Let's wait for that. Yeah, read the instructions, click OK. Now the first thing we need to do, if you have multiple pages in this particular PDF, or if you are using any PDF which has multiple invoices, multiple pages, what you have to do, you need to check at least 5 matching information in each page. So as of now we have only one page, so I'm going to choose any 5 keywords. You can just what you have to do is press on control and click on few matching keywords. So I'm going to the description. Okay, before that you can see here in the left part, you can see whatever you defined in taxonomy manager, it's available here. Okay, and description, and go with the vendor, invoice, laundry service. So 1 2 3 4 5. I'll go with amount. So this is done. So 5 keywords are matched. So I'm going to click on this extract value. As you can see, it's highlighted. So it will add it here. So now the next thing we have to do is fetch the invoice date. So what I have to do is, let me try to zoom in. Yeah. So this is my invoice date. What I'll do I'll just check this and click on custom area. Once you can add anywhere, but as of now, as we know, it is invoice date. I'm going to click on this. Yeah. So this is so we added in date as a invoice date in this variable. See, earlier I told you when checking on multiple value, we can see it here. So for example, if you have any date here, let me check. Zoom out. So let's say we have another ID or a date here somewhere. Let's say this is our date custom area. You can just click here. See, so there are multiple values. I'm going to remove that. Okay. So now we got invoice date. So let's go with invoice number. Invoice number is 4 for me. Same thing. Drag it. Hide it. Custom area. Invoice number. So we got invoice number as well. And then we'll go with address. So this is my vendor address. Drag it, let it identify all the fields. Custom area and extract value. We got this as well. Tax ID next. This is my tax ID, custom area, and extract the value. Now the total amount. This is my total amount. Just drag it. No, we didn't get that. You can just click on that. Total amount. Let me zoom in. This is my total amount. You can also extract this table. You can also extract this table by defining in taxonomy. It's just nothing. We need to define column and 2 columns and rows. I'll show you next if possible. So once this is done, I'm going to save this. We'll select this. These are nothing but you can declare, for example, if you have any checkboxes within the PDF. So what do we so if you want to give example, let's say you have some checkboxes like yes or no. You can define it here, like let's say yes or other tick mark. I don't have tick mark here. Just copy it from somewhere and add tick marks here. So I'm just going to close this. So this is one type of form extractor. Another one we can use regex based extractor. So let's see that how it looks. So you can see the drop down here. So let's say we need to extract tax ID with regular expression. So this is my tax ID variable. I'm going to edit. So let me copy that from PDF. Control C. and so click on advanced. This is my test text. This is a simple regex to extract the tax ID. Tax ID. Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, we are able to extract. So I'm going to save this. As you can see, the expression is this one. So let's save this. So this is it. I need to configure the extractors here. As you can see, let's see the drop downs. So as I said, I'm going to use regex based extractor to extract tax ID. So I'm going to check this and all other 1, 2, 3, and you can also check, but you need to define the confidence level. So let's say 80%. I'll do that. I'm going to save this. So once this is done, yeah, so extracted result, we already have a variable. So let's see, it has a data set, I guess. Extraction. So we need to export. And we need to use export extraction results. So what I'm going to do is I'll just pass the extracted result of variable, and we'll get output of data set control key data set. So once this is done, so we are writing all the extracted values from data set to data table. Let's see how we can do that. I'm just going to use for each. I'm going to pass data set and look for a right range. Okay, data set, we need to change the argument here. Data table. Okay. So, dot tables. And now I'm going to pass the item as my data table. That's it. So let me try to run this without connecting the orchestrator, if it is possible, or else I'll try to log in again. Okay. So as you can, let's see, we are loading the taxonomy here. As you can see from local file, local panel, let me try to maximize this. So we are in the digitization part. Take some time. Classification part. So let's see, we have an output document text and model. So we have a document text as entire string value. We have that is success, and model also we do have certain details here. That is good. And classification results. Okay, classification results also we do have. So we have it's classified, right? And let's move to the data extraction scope. It will take some time. Let's move to the next activity. It is taking some time, guys, so bear with me. Okay, so I'll continue. So once we are done with that, we are going to export that result here, and we are in for each loop. So let's see, do we have a data set extracted value? Yes, we do have. Let's store run the bot. That's it. So let's check the output. Refresh. Yes, we do have. As you can see, we have multiple values here. We are going to check. So I think I should have added check the header value, header property. Now I don't remember what was the. This should be invoice date and invoice number and the address. What is this? I think this should be our tax ID, which we're not getting. We'll see that. We'll figure it out. And this is our total amount. So let's cross verify all this value. Total amount is 5567.50. It's correct. And the invoice number for July 8, 2011. And in town USA. So we are missing is tax ID. Let's see why is that. I'm closing this. So maybe it happened here. I'm going to uncheck this, and I'm adding headers. Okay, let's rerun this. And I'm deleting the generated Excel here. What is running? So guys, drop your queries regarding this or any other topics related. So we'll pick it up. Let's wait a few more seconds. Yeah, that is done. Refresh. Extracted results. Got the extracted results. Let's cross verify. We didn't get the tax ID. Okay, we are missing a column, I guess, if I'm not wrong. No, we didn't get any tax ID. Okay. So let's see why is just Is it because of this form extractor or regex based extractor? You can also like also verify this. I'm going to remove the confidence level. Pass it as 0. Let's uncheck this. Check this. I'm going to save this again. So I'll close this. So the missing part is we are missing our tax ID. I'm going to delete the Excel again. So what I did is I just whatever I'm using a regex based extractor, I've unchecked this and made a confidence level as 0, and I made a form extractor to extract the tax ID as well. So this is a trial and error. Because you can just need to go through everything. So let's rerun this again. Of course, it is going to take at least 2 minutes to 1 minute. Kranti, sorry to interrupt. So, if you do we have any questions regarding this or to any previous sessions?
No, Pradeep. As of now, no questions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Meanwhile, Pradeep, I do have one question. So here we are
Okay,
extracting the values from the fixed form type, right? So what if the
correct,
form is a semi-structured and I just want to extract the values in the invoice itself, and the data will be coming from the same customer invoice, but I may not know where exactly data is always. Like maybe the invoice number is, sometimes it might be a right side and sometimes it might be a below of the static text invoice. How to handle such kind of scenarios in this?
okay, nice question. Thank you. So, what we do is we have a multiple form extractor, as you can see. Let me show you. What is that? Data access scope, extract scope. As we know that we can use form extractor. We do have for a semi structure uh, machine learning, I guess, if I'm not wrong, ML extractor. Uh, I'm not sure if we
you
had it.
you you have to install one more package for that ML extractor.
Okay, I think that will help, right? Maybe I'm sure
Yeah,
Dinesh. Yeah,
it will help because what Divya is talking about, she is talking about that if we see the restaurant slips and they can be anywhere.
correct,
Someone title will be above, some title will be on the left, on the right. So it can
correct,
by making a ML model extractor, we can fix that as well. We have to
correct,
train
correct.
that model, and for that we need a heavy machine to run that.
Okay, again we need to go back to Abhi. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it, got it. Thank you for pitching in. I hope you have the answer, Divya. So what else?
Yes, Pradeep, that answered my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So as Dinesh Sudhishan said, we need to install another package for that. So as you can see, the bot went well. Took 49 seconds to extract the details from invoice. Again, we are getting value. We're not getting the value. Nice. Okay, try that one more time. Let me try another method. This is my tax ID. Okay, I think we are not getting this is matching. But let's say it has to stop after a few spaces. Let's try this one more method, or else we'll figure it out. So we have more sessions to go. I don't want them to keep waiting. Let's wait 50 more seconds. So we can also, I think I made a mistake while using form extractor by mapping this. Let's see. Okay, fine guys. I think I made a mistake while mapping it in form extractor. I'll figure it out and I'll guys let you know. Okay. So apart from this, we are getting all the values you can see except the tax ID here. I'll figure it out within next minutes and I'll drop in the comments. Okay. Thank you. So Divya, please take over this and we can continue the session.
Yeah, thank you so much for the wonderful session, Pradeep.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Pradeep, for the session.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Just confirming once you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes,
Yes.
Divya.
Okay, thank you so much. So, yeah, today we had an amazing session on the document understanding where most of our UiPath developers are struggle to get the OCR results by using just the normal OCR tools, basically. Along with that, I have just picked up a very small topic for today where that can be helped for our newbies for the UiPath development where the requirement is I do have couple of the website address or some of the shared folders link which is associated somewhere inside of the inside of the body of the email and it just says like click me or click here to join or click here to access any of the link. So in that case, how can I just read those kind of URL or the shared file location with just using by one simple regex and how can we access those? So I'm just going to demonstrate the same thing. So for that, I'm just using my simple email box where I do have one of the website that's one of the company website which is associated with respect to the email. So let's see how I can just get this web URL and perform some actions. For that, I have taken just a one simple flowchart, and then I'm just doing Outlook mail message. And in the get Outlook mail message. So, as in one of the previous sessions, it was helped us to learn how to create a query for the filter. I'm just using the same thing. So I'm just going to image mode and filter and where I'm just using search for the words in the subject only and I'm just using anchor so factor and then I'm just going to an SQL and I'm copying this. And okay, just a minute. Filter and just launch field on all the main fields contains and here and I'll go to yes, and here I'll just go edit. I'll take this Control C and I'm just coming here and adding the filter double quote at SQL equals to this. I'm just going to remove this double quote and I'm making sure I do have this and I'm just going to remove this. So I do have like where subject is like so and so. Anywhere if you want to filter, you can just add your own filters. And then I'm just clicking on OK. And I'm just creating one of the output variable like called mail messages. Okay. And I'll just check. And I'm just going to like uncheck read only and I'm just restricting for 5 for the demo. And I'll take the decision flow. And in the decision, I'm just checking whether I'm able to get a mail message or not. So here I'll just check mail messages dot count greater than 0. Yes. Then I just have to look through that mail for each. And for each, I'm just going to change the argument to the mail messages. And I'm going to define each mail in the mail messages. Okay. And if there is no mail found, I'm just going to log it as no messages found, no email found. And then I'll come back for each email in the mailbox. I'm just going to, I'll pick one assign, and I'm just taking one variable as a string called mail body. And in the mail body, okay, I have changed the argument type already. So I'll be having all the access for each and every object instead of the mail. So I'll take mail dot body dot to string. Basically, I'm just taking the whole string of the mail body to one of the string variable. And in this, I'm just checking each match. And in the whole text, I would prefer to go with, I'm sorry, let's, instead of sequence, I'm just going to pick on flow chart again. So it will be just helpful to navigate, that's all, right? And okay. And here I'm just going to check each match. And in the is match, I'm going to give the input as a mail body. So that's the whole string which I'm taking. So I'm taking as a mail body, and I should just use one pattern. So I'm just have written one regex pattern where it is just going to match me either if it is a shared folder file path or even it is any of the web URL. I'm just going to paste this URL, paste this regex in our comment section, which will be helpful for our later users. Or you can just, if it is any specific with respect to any of the process, you can just build your own regex by the regex builder. So here I'm just going to use this match, and then I'm going to create one of the variable called match found. Okay, so here we do have the match found, and again I'll take one more decision, and I'll just mention match found. And okay, match found. If not, I'm just going to log a message called um, there is no URL. No URL found. If there is a URL, then I'll just come with match, then matches. In the matches, I'm just again giving the same pattern along with the same, like the mail body as a string to match. And now I do have here, I'll get a result as a set of the list of all the links which has been as able to extract in the whole body. So I'll take found of links. Okay, now I have read and I have just confirmed whether the mail body contains any of the URL or any of the shared folder paths or any of those things. So if that contains yes, then it's going to come here and then it is going to extract all the email links which has been found. And if you just again, if you want to filter out any of these things in this also, you can just go ahead and here since I have used the whole single regex to match any of the URL or the file path or anything, you can just change this with respect to if you want to extract only the file paths or if you just want to extract only the web URL, you can just modify this based on your requirement. Okay, so you will get the filtered matches there itself. So I do have this found links here. Then I'm just going to use for each, and instead of the for each, so I'm just going to use this and found links. I'm just going to pick string, which is fine. And inside of this, I'm going to use because here I know what is my exact requirement is. I'm just going to open any of the browser. I'm just going to extract the browser URL. So that's why I'm just making this as per the requirement. I'm just taking the open browser, but of course, based on your if you are reading a Excel in the shared folder, you can just for each this one you can just pick the read range and you can just start reading, or you can just use the Excel application scope and you can just start working on those things, right? And then item dot string. So with this fine, I'm just going to pick the browser as IE by default. Okay, just for my references, I'm just going to add one of the log as information and item dot to string, and yeah, here I'm just going to add one more log message, information browser browser opened. And if you have any actions to perform inside of the browser, you can just go ahead and perform those actions inside of this too. And since I do not have anything much, I'm just going to close this. Okay, so I'm done with all these things. I just do not even if there is something else, I don't want this to go for an infinite loops. And if I'm sure it is just going to be one URL to be picked or any of the one file paths to be picked, you can just use break directly just after the condition. Yes, if you want to loop all the available URLs, you can just go ahead and loop it for all the found links. But since I just want to extract only one URL and perform the action for only one URL, I'm just breaking the loop here and I'm just coming back and I'm using another loop. So I just do not want to go for the next email, right? And once I'm done with this, I'll just use message as information and completed. So let's run this and run file. Okay, just a minute. Mail body. My system. Okay. String. Dot text or regular expression dot match type. Oh, okay. Wait. Links, variable, string, found links, match found, enumerable, collector. Okay. Level to cast the object from regular expression match found. Okay. Am I using match found somewhere here? This is correct. Just give me a minute. Debug, breakpoint. Let's debug this file. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I think you haven't changed the type.
Yes. Thank you. Okay.
I think it
And
should be
this.
a match, if I'm not wrong.
Sorry.
I
I think
didn't
it
see
should be a
that.
match.
Yeah, it is not
Yeah, this is the
uh,
match, right?
It is
match one. It is,
enumerable.
yeah.
It's just
It is no. Yeah.
okay. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, let me run this file. Match type to.
It
No, no.
should be only match. It
Yeah,
as you
correct,
can
correct.
see from for each, it is
Oh,
innumerable matches.
match. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Run file. It opened the website which was able to extract, and I can just go back here, and it has been closed. And if I just go to the Outlook, this is the URL which has been extracted, and the browser has been opened, and as soon as this, it has closed and come out to the loop and says it has been completed. So this is how you can just go ahead and extract the URL which has been, inlined with maybe I have just used as a body from the mail body. You can just extract anywhere, even from the attachment or from the subject line. If you want to extract any of the URL anywhere with respect to the email properties, you will be able to just get it done with by using this regex matches and using the Outlook properties. So this is all about for today's demo for extracting the URLs from the Outlook. So any questions for me?
Divya, as I can see from comments, we don't have any questions as of now, so we are good.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys. Divya said that was a good session. Thank you once again. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you for the conversation.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.